Welcome to the 20-minute restore breath and meditate. Whew, I've been working on some deep stuff lately and I've been feeling my pelvis because there's a lot going on in our root chakras. Whether it be the masculine, feminine energies imbalanced, or your feeling of lack of security or not being creative, you can really feel the stuff in your hips. So today's practice, I invite you to maybe have a couple of blankets, a couple of bolsters instead of one, blocks. Have as much as you can at your mat so that you can just grab it. I would love to do some external rotations of the femur bones and pause and sit with them while breathing, because I really feel, while breathing mindfully that is, I really feel that it's important to slow down. So this is a meditative, whenever we're conscious, we're meditating, restorative practice. Okay, so let's get started. I would love to have everyone just come into a seat and we're going to do our best to forward fold. I have to just take a really big breath in and out because what a beautiful morning so far. I really feel content. So once you seat yourself, so that's why I just want to express it. I'm wearing my genie pants, which my spouse says he doesn't, most men don't like these genie pants. They're great for yoga. Expressing yourself and being fluid in your moment and meeting your needs is really important. That's why I'm here on the mat today, just to say, hey, let's do this. So once you seat yourself, I invite you, I don't want you to do anything, I invite you, you do you, to take your legs out, but bend your knees out to the side. So your feet are going to be wider than your mat, and then dorsiflex your feet. I don't know why I put that there. And forward folding. So we're gonna pull out your butt flesh, just like that, and sit with your hands, palms down, right down in between your feet. Make sure you're rooted through your sitting bones. And right here, I would love to invite you to close your eyes and just notice the breath in your body, just where you're at, keeping your feet flexed here, knees bent out to the side so your legs aren't straight, and just give yourself a little dance of wave of breath and movement. So you're just really paying attention to the breath in your body, noticing if you need to arrange your butt flesh, your sitting bones a little bit differently, and then give yourself a little stirring forward. So closing your eyes helps you to really feel the asana as opposed to looking around and noticing stuff around you. Most people do that. They're always staring at something else or looking up at the ceiling. Quell. So I'd like to get you to forward fold to your best ability. And some of you may be up here, and some of you, this is enough right here. So you decide what you need to do. Then I'd like to offer you open up through the left arm and give yourself a twist in your thoracic spine. So not just moving your head sideways, but lifting your heart and turning it towards perhaps the left. Keep your right hand down and bend and extend through that arm, but also play with the left shoulder so it's not stuck in a static mode. Really giving yourself permission to move and wave, and you'll start to feel a lot of lower back stuff. That's all your personal power, sacral energy. You can wave your torso back and forth, closing your eyes and noticing the breath in your body, really important piece. And then let's take the left hand down and open up through the right side body. So you're twisting towards the right through the sternum, not just your face, and giving yourself that, that twist. You could play with that right arm, move and groove it, noticing if it feels too much to fully extend that arm or flex that arm, then do what feels best for you, but you're twisting. Keep your knees broad, keep your feet dorsiflexed. Good. And then exhale and release both hands. And just give yourself a little tilt forward if that's okay with you. Once again, tucking your chin in, closing your eyes. Some of you may be able to take your forearms to the floor. Some of you are still happy to be here. That's enough of flexion for you. And take 3 long, beautiful breaths here, wherever you choose to be. Yeah. Oh, let the neck be an expression as well. Another breath here. Good. And then inhale, rise it up. And then let's tuck the right heel in and take the left knee and bring the left foot back behind you. And just lean towards the right hand and just waddle in that hip and really paying attention to the breath, the exhalations. Oh, there's so much stuff that goes on in our hips. I understand. This is the world we live in. We get so busy and we need to choose to be more cognizant and present. That's what the meditation is. Meditation is being present. Good, now from here, let's still that left hip. See if you can sit up taller, and you may have to really find a position for your left foot, and then start to lean towards the left. So for me, you can use the mat, pressuring your hand into the mat, or a block if your hand doesn't touch the floor, or grab a hold of your ankle, the left ankle, bend your elbow in and hinge to the side. Your right arm, you could play with it, do what you want to do with it. You could keep it still, doesn't have to do too much. Really paying attention to the left hip. I'm so relaxed right now. And it's the breath, but I'm feeling the crankiness of this hip. So noticing what you notice. We're not pushing or shoving anything. That's not fixing it. It's listening to it. Breathe into it. Good. 2 more breaths here. Yeah, just like that. And then when you're ready to take that left leg out in front, pick up your right knee and take your right foot back behind you, just like that. Lean into the left hand and just play in this right hip. Notice how that feels. Yeah, stuff, eh? Sometimes you don't have anything going on, and that's fine too. And that's awesome, isn't it? So from there, let's sit up as tall as we can. Notice how that feels. And then start to migrate your right hand to the right. Oh, I can feel that on that side. And if that left arm feels like doing something, do something with your left arm, or keep it simple. Whatever you need to feel for yourself. Breathing that breath, noticing what you notice in that left side body shape, that curve. Can you keep the left sitting bone down? Do the feelings that you feel like you want to move into. Oh, there you are, Tyson. I heard some kids dropped you off. My dog runs away all the time. Inhale, come all the way up. And then let's take that right leg out in front. So your legs are crossed. Let's take a moment to take one hand to the belly flesh and one hand to the heart. Close your eyes and feel the breath in your body. In and out. Slowing down. In the world of hustle and bustle, taking the time out yogic-wise in the asana practice of consciousness will help soothe so much. Just let it all just be. There's no time, just be here right now. Don't worry about all that stuff. 2 more breaths here. Right into the belly. Good, just like that. Nice. Slowly blinking your eyes open. Now this is where we're going to switch up the shape. I'm just going to turn sideways. So from that cross-leg seated position, keep the right leg out in front, bend the left knee, take the left foot back behind you, take your bolster in front of you, and this is where you can create whatever you need to do to create a forward fold. Once you forward fold, maybe you need to take a bolster or a block, underneath that bolster to heighten it up. And also for those that have been practicing and can do a full-fledged pigeon prep pose, you can also extend that left leg straight back, tone the belly button in, and then lay over your bolster. Because this is a restorative and breath practice, we want to meet the floor by using props. It doesn't have to be extreme. Some of you may prefer to have the 2 bolsters, and don't worry, if you don't need all these options, then just go into your pigeon pose. The other option is your right shin stays in that cross-leg seated position. You lift your bum, you slide the second bolster underneath your pubis. So when I square my hips, if that's your preference, your choice, I'm gonna move those blankets out of the way, then you have support underneath your hips as well, which the majority of you, I think, will enjoy that. And once you lay down, let's turn our face towards the left side. So we're gonna keep our neck twisting towards the left, face towards the left, and then closing your eyes and settling into this position. Allow that there's this bellowing of the belly breath. Let your shoulders relax. You are relaxed. And give yourself permission just to soften even that back left leg. If you want to bend and extend it before you get there, then do so. Let us pay attention to the right hip. It may be saying something to you. Mine is definitely saying something. So having the props today is really amazing. So yoga, for restorative, we're just softening into the length of the muscle, literally. We're allowing for the eccentric, the lengthening and the concentric of those muscles to just feel safe. We're not pushing and pulling. We're not isometrically working in a sense of activity. We're
just surrendering. So see if you can just give yourself permission to surrender in this pigeon pose. Breathing into that right hip and noticing what's coming up for you. Tucking your chin in towards the notch of your throat so that your neck is more relaxed is a great option. Some of you may switch your arms in positions that feels better for you. Regardless, we're all here together, breathing into your right hip. Magically, just really put your intention, your mind's eye into the right hip. When our leg is externally rotated and flexed at the knee, it really does cause some tension up in the right hip. So we really want to pay attention to that. Can we give ourselves permission to soften a little bit more using the belly breath? And using that breath and mind's eye intention, focus on seeing, picture yourself and rest. What does that picture look like? To rest, to surrender, to release, to feel ananda, bliss. Yeah, can you picture that in your mind? Maybe it's just doing this posture and this is your picture in your mind. I always believe that everything begins in a thought. That thought is usually like a picture. So what is this picture of rest, of peace, of tranquility? And then picture that in your right hip. We're going to stay here for some time, so just really settling into it. Rest. Breathing your belly breath, allowing yourself just to surrender, softening in those hips. I work on so many people that have such tight hips. Very athletic, but in pain. So the pendulum swings both ways. There could be the very fit person, but is very in lots of pain because of their contracted muscles. And then there's a person who is quite, let's say, tamasic, relaxed, very flaccid. And then that's dangerous on the joints as well. There's no muscle tone to protect the joints. So either way, we want to learn to nourish the body with the breath and be aware of what it is that we need to do to strengthen and support our mobility and our flexibility. And that's what we're doing right now. So I'm going to silence myself as you focus on your belly breathing and that picture of rest. Cognizance, consciousness is love, self-love. Meet your needs. The longer we can sink into this and be in it, the more benefits we reap. It's what you sow, you reap. So stay with this, soften. See if you can just let all tensions of your body just release as your whole body sinks into Mother Gaia, the earth, the floor, the bolsters, the blankets. Don't worry about time. I will take care of the time. Good, just like that. Keeping your practice with breath, consciousness of breath, and that mind's eye set. What is the picture of kindness, of peace, of release, of relaxation, of rest? Those all the R words. Beautiful. Good. And like I said, I could be here forever. So we're going to migrate to the other side, and this is how we will do it. So I invite you to slide your hands back. Start to elevate your torso up, otherwise we can stay there for a very long time. Come up onto your finger pads. If you have a bolster like I do underneath the pelvis, then just scooch that left leg forward, and we're just going to sit with that left knee up and just give yourself a breath. Just take it easy. Allowing that gestation, that rest period before we go to the other side. Okay? Okay. Oh, there's a lot of okaying going on today. Take your right leg out. So you're straddling your bolster if you're using a bolster. If not, that's okay too.
Take your left leg across. So as if that front of the mat, your left shin is pretty much across the mat. Making it easy, I'm gonna lean forward and just pick up my right knee, move it forward, let my foot just wrap around that bolster just for a moment. Reassess here, and then come forward and begin the extension of the right leg. Now, some of you may have your knee bent out to the side today. You could still do that with a bolster, not to make it complex or too many options, but you'll figure out what you need to do. And then come into that forward fold. I like to slide my bolster that's across my sternum, my chest, or in line with it, right into my belly flesh. So the more you can get it into your foot and your belly flesh, the more support you have. And then this time we're going to turn our face towards the right. Let your shoulders relax. Once again, if you have the urgency to straighten that right leg, do so. Make sure there's nothing in its way. And then begin to settle into this beautiful pigeon pose, prat pose, feeling the left gluteal flesh. And maybe it's soft for you. Maybe there's no tension like the right hip. And that's awesome. This still is a meditation breath practice, so you don't have to feel pain, you don't need to suffer, but absolutely give yourself permission to settle into it. Just move those blankies. Softening over into the floor over your props is the practice today. Restorative meditation breath practice is the surrender. Continue to belly breathe and use your mind's eye to picture what rest is for you. For me, it's definitely being in this position. I'm enjoying and with gratitude my position, allowing my belly breath to expand my kidney area. So the more I breathe in, I can get right into my kidneys as well. I often think about what it is in my life that I am holding on security-wise or not expressing creative-wise, because that's the gluteal flesh, how we create and how we stabilize security and safety. So really important piece to soften and be in the feeling and surrender any negative thinking. Tuck your chin more towards the notch of your throat so your neck is more in a neutral position. And arrange your arms so that you are relaxed. You are relaxed. Your feet are usually plantar flexed, meaning pointed, and relaxed. Letting all that breath just move out of your body. Yawning is a great sign. Parasympathetic system is kicked in. That means rest and digest. Watering of the eyes and gurgling of the tummy. Follow your breath and surrender. Everything gets done without you even doing. Just surrender. Belly breathing, so important. Follow your breath. Some of you may fall asleep. That's awesome. You needed it. If you could be cognizant of your belly breath, that would be awesome. Very beneficial. You do you. Feeling the hum of your breath, the heartbeat, being very aware of your presence of this time, this moment, softening, surrendering. Any external, think of it, distractions, just notice them and let them flow. Non-attachment. Exhale. Exhale. Lots of exhaling.
Oh, I think I might have slipped into a little sleepy sleep there. Start to wiggle your right leg toes. Take a really big full breath into your belly. Oh my goodness, I did slip into that little zone. Start to slide your hands back by your waist and pressing yourself up very gingerly and mindfully. I did slip into that one. And then take your time to draw that right leg up and just let it sit there. That was so beautiful. A big breath in and out here. Okay, now I'm sitting on my bolster, so a lot of you could just now cross the right leg out in front of you, and I'm going to turn to face you. So that's what we're going to do. Just sit in a cross-leg seated position once you bring the right leg up, and then let it settle. And then we're going to come back into the belly and the heart. These two places where we express our passions, the love for life. And there's a saying that those that live passionately teach us to love, and those that love passionately teach us to live. Yes. Are you one of those? One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Close your eyes and just take this moment to ingest this. This is the meditation. Am I happy? And if not, it's up to you to make that happen. And it just begins with you being here right now. Love. What is that one word, that phrase that gives you that permission to rest and to see the love, the passion that you truly are? Let us take this breath into account while we, fathom all this in our mind's eye. Remember, everything begins in a thought, like a picture. Take a really big breath into the fullness of your lungs until your diaphragm expands your belly. And then contract your belly in, back, and up so you can go ha. 2 more of those. One more. Beautiful. Slowly bring your hands to prayer at your heart center, thanking yourself for your practice today, the 20-minute of just or so of restoring breath. And then let's integrate our fingers and press them across the chest, the unshakable truth. What are your truths? Are you a person that loves passionately and teaches others to live? Are you a person that passionately lives this life and teaches others to love? Either way, it's a win. From my light to your light, namaste. I hope you enjoyed those few minutes out for yourself. If you need a little bit more oomph, then you can always do the core and breath practice. Stay tuned for the next episodes from mine to yours.